Is it too late to start YouTube in 2020? Man, that is the elephant in the room, and everyone's wondering with the drama that's happening on YouTube with COPPA, with the fact that YouTube has been around for 15 years now. Is it still possible to not only start a channel, but really to grow and to break out? So in this video, I'm actually going to be sharing some case studies and some examples of channels that have started in the last 2 to even last 1 year to even the last few months that have broke out, and some tips for how you can grow your channel faster in 2020 and beyond. But hey, if we're just meeting, my name is Sean Cannell. I'm the author of YouTube Secrets, and here on Think Media, my passion is helping you with the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. And I'm so excited for this video today. If you're here on the replay, thanks for being here. If you're here live, what's up, Crypto Wealthy, Star Wars for Life? What's up, Jim? What's up, ERX Fitness? Appreciate you. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future live streams and trainings all year long. And let's just dive right into this. Is it too late to start YouTube in 2020? Well, let's look at some examples that have just started. You know, some people are like, well, hey, if you started back in 2010, you could break through. Oh, if you started in 2015, you could break through. But now it's too late. And my question is that true? I mean, have channels that have only started in the last year or so broken through? And the example is, yeah, I mean, the examples are many. So of course there's like Janelle Elena, and maybe you've heard of her. Her channel blew up. She's at over 2.2 million subscribers now. She only has about 6 videos out, and she started just a few months ago. Her first video was like 5 months ago, which again is one of these examples, I think, of the fact that you can start a brand new channel and still blow up. But some people might say, oh, well, it's because she's attractive, or, oh, you know, she got lucky, or, oh, she's a plant from YouTube. There's actually conspiracy theories about her. But look, it's not just about these bigger kind of viral channels. Maybe you heard about Joanna Sedia, and she's another example. 1 million subscribers in just 3 months, right? She's an 18-year-old Canadian YouTuber who films videos with her phone, so not any fancy technology, right? And really, if you look at some of the things about her channel, it's kind of different is better than better. When you've got like the Jake Pauls of the world that are kind of, you know, doing this flashy, kind of over-edited, larger than life, she's kind of this opposite, like just being authentic, weird, kind of her thumbnails are like memes. And she's also doing influence and trend surfing. You know, she blew up because she did a DIY of Emma Chamberlain's clothing line and kind of capitalized on some of the drama around that. And so we saw some of her strategies that we even talk about. And I don't even know if it was a strategy, but it was one of the principles we talk about here at Think Media of influence surfing and trend surfing. But here's the deal. It's not just these breakout 1 million subscribers. Maybe you've heard of Dr. Eye Health. And so Joey is been on YouTube for about a year focused, 5 videos a month, 200 or 23,000 subscribers is he's growing by a month right now. And he gets 1.2 million views a month. What we're seeing here is the power of using YouTube in a particular niche or niche, and to really use it to blow up and have a business model and a strategy. Then now he's at like 85,000 subscribers, but he's already making money off affiliate marketing. He's building an audience, and he's reaching people as an eye doctor that started to share his passion and his expertise on YouTube. Tell me in the comments, what is your niche? What is it you're creating on YouTube? What kind of content, what kind of videos are you creating? I love this example because it shows that he didn't have to start 5 years ago or 10 years ago. You could still grow a channel in a particular niche. It makes me think of Roger, right? The expert plumber. He's actually posting 15 videos a month. So a lot of hustle going in, growing by 3,100 subscribers a month. And he really got focused about a year ago. So just at the beginning of 2019, and his channel is going to be huge. The subscriber growth is there. And by the way, when I say huge, I think the important thing to note here is you don't just define success by the million subscriber channels. Roger has got a business in Dallas, a real plumbing business that he's got a team, he's sending out employees to do jobs, but now he fired his marketing company and he's leveraging YouTube to not just grow his business, but to create other income streams. It's not too late to start YouTube, man, whether you're kind of an influencer, whether you just kind of want to create van life videos or meme style content or gaming. or whether you want to use YouTube for business, and whether you want to use YouTube with a proven business model around it, the examples are many. You've got Nicole. Now, she'd been on YouTube for a few years, but not focused, right? You know, you upload like a video of your wedding or your engagement and some other random stuff. Then she got focused about a year ago, and her channel is Kids OT Help. She's an occupational therapist. She's posting 4 videos a month, so 1 a week, right? It's a really good strategy. And I think that if you want to crush it on YouTube in 2020, you need to commit to at least uploading 1 video a week. It's all about that consistency. And she's growing by 3,400 new moms, right? It's focused like people that are having babies, and it's tummy time, and it's feeding, and it's things like that. It's latching, right? I'm trying to get that baby to latch. Come on, moms. And she's getting 200,000 views a month, and she's doing all kinds of things. She's doing YouTube ads a little bit with Views, affiliate marketing, but she's even got like a membership site now for new moms that are in this stage. And so she's generating, I think, nearly $1,000 a month now, just with a channel around 50,000 subscribers, and she just started recently. You actually can use a tool like vidIQ to see people's stats to see, 4 videos a week. How many subscribers are they growing, or a month? How many subscribers are they growing by? What kind of views is she getting? You know, here's Graham Stephan, and 2 years ago is when he really first started, and in a very, what you'd call quote unquote crowded niche. At first, he's kind of talking about his cars as a car fanatic, and now he's doing real estate as well as really just wealth kind of building tips videos. 1.3 million subscribers now. I mean, it's not too late to start. I mean, that's the theme we're seeing. Maybe you've seen Dania Angelo, right? She lives in a ranch in Mexico, and I don't know how to say her channel name. I know, here's what it means. From my ranch to your garden, and she's grown by 2 million subscribers, 8 videos a month, 22 million views a month. Right above my picture-in-picture here, you can see how many views she's getting a month. She's growing by 330,000 subscribers a month, and she's breaking like all the myths. Number one, she doesn't have like a cool bumper, cool graphics, cool social media logos. Like, it's just like straight jump cut editing through a cooking tutorial. You know, and it's very creative. Mexico, the channel's in Spanish, it's wood fire stove, but she just blew up. And here's my thing. I'm not saying that you're going to start a channel and you're going to get 2 million subscribers like she did. But what I'm saying is that it's possible to start and grow a 20,000, 45,000, 65,000 subscriber channel, period. Like, the examples are too many. And you know, you can just start seeing that people want to say, oh, it's just for like Janelle Elena, who's like a hipster, Zoomer, attractive, creative van life video. No, man. Any culture, any age, any background, anywhere you live in the world, there's 2 choices we have when deciding if it's too late to start YouTube. Are we going to look at the negatives, and are we going to focus on the challenges? I'm not saying there aren't challenges. Or are you going to choose a perspective to say, I'm going to put in the work. If other people can do it, so can I. I'm going to learn. I'm going to hustle. I'm going to just go for this. And I'm not going to let anything be an excuse, because honestly, excuses are just going to keep you sidelined. You can either have excuses or results, but you can't have both. And so when we look at these examples, it defines for us that it is not too late to start, period, right? And so if you're getting value so far, smash like. But I want to really talk about some of the reality still, because I'm not trying to say that this is a walk in the park or that going into 2020, YouTube hasn't changed. So let's talk about some of the good and some of the bad when it comes to YouTube. So right now, there's over 70 million creators. I mean, let's just face the focused reality. Like, that's a lot of creators you're competing with. So I think that the quote of being different is better than better is important. What are you going to do that's going to be unique? What are you going to do? Are you going to outwork people, out-upload people? Are you going to bring something fresh to the table? How are you going to stand out in a sea of those creators? That's a big question to have, and that's a reality we need to face. But there's also over 2 billion viewers. You know, YouTube released the stat that right now there's over 2 billion monthly viewers on YouTube with a Gmail account logged in, and they're watching more and more content. We saw that pretty much every young person is on YouTube, like 98% of like 18 to 24. But we also saw that over 50% of 70 and up is on YouTube. So like 1 out of 2 people in their legacy years are also watching YouTube. And there's this arc in between. So like whoever you're trying to reach, your target audience, your customer, if you're a business owner, like your fan base that you have yet to discover or that you're just starting to reach, 2 billion with the B, friends. That's a lot of people. Yo, you know what I'm saying? And so like that's the good. There's a lot of people. The bad, like COPPA and new restrictions. You know, now there's some stuff. At first, there was kind of the adpocalypse about if you weren't creating family-friendly content. And now it's like, if you create family-friendly content, we're going to think it's for kids and we're going to shut you down. There's kind of a lot of drama. I'd say this. Going into 2020, if you're creating content for kids 13 and under, I don't know if YouTube's going to be if it's even a viable strategy. Like if you're really targeting kids, and here's the point, not if your content could be watched by kids. I'm saying that if your content is targeted for kids under 13, you know, not only is there a monetization challenge, they're saying that suggested videos and other things. Now we could see as this law and these restrictions evolve. Plus there's some new policy updates about bullying, so that can affect comedy. And so I'm empathetic, depending on your niche. If you're, you know, potentially doing news and you want to be able to, or comedy, and you want to be able to do jokes that should just be understood as comedy and not as bullying or whatever, there's some limitations with the new policies. Depending on if you're targeting kids under 13, there's some limitations. But again, here's the thing. Like if I want to open up a coffee shop in Las Vegas, where I live, vegasinfluencers.com, by the way, we do monthly meetups, vegasinfluencers.com. And so if I wanted to open up a coffee shop here in Vegas, and then they said, you know what, now in this zip code, you can no longer open a coffee shop. You have to go to this zip code. I could do one of two things: cry about it, or I could move and pivot my strategy and open up the coffee shop in the zip code that does allow me to open it. That's a hardcore perspective, but if you might say, all I want to do is create kids content for kids under 13, well, then maybe change your strategy. Because all I'm trying to say is if you want to succeed on YouTube in 2020, you need to adapt to the times, position yourself to do it, and adapt to the new restrictions. Some people say, I'm getting censored, and maybe you are. But then there's also niches that aren't. So what happens if you pivot into a niche or into an area that isn't actually restricted? Well, then you can still win. I actually have a friend who runs 20 different YouTube channels. He's making over 100 grand a month off of AdSense alone. And he's not in any of the videos. He's making the channels based on proven and popular niches. And he's not being romantic about the idea of this is what I wish was happening on YouTube. He's focusing on what works on YouTube. And guess what? It's working. So you're going to need a strategy in 2020. So yeah, that's the bad, but here's the good. Smart creators are still winning. Like if you have a smart strategy, a smart positioning, I get it. I am sorry if again, you wanted to make kids content, maybe you have to pivot and maybe you have to find a different platform. But the other thing you could do is say, okay, let me rethink this. Let me re-strategize this. Let me hit it from a different approach. Let me hit this from a different angle, because having a smart strategy is absolutely, and by the way, this isn't going to affect most channels because most channels are not targeting kids 13 and under. Like you're probably not. And I don't mean could kids watch it. I mean your target audience, like who you're actually trying to reach. And then of course there's crowded niches, right? Or niches. You just might be like, and let me know in the comments if you're like, yeah, I just feel like there's so many people doing what I want to do. There's so many beauty channels, there's so many vlogging channels, whatever it is. That is the bad. Like as we go into 2020 and beyond, sure, there are crowds, but on the flip side, there's also a lot of underserved niches, period. What do I mean? I mean that not everyone's going to like Think Media. Like even if you wanted to talk about YouTube tips and you want to talk about cameras and gear, do you know how many successful tech channels there are? Do you know how many successful YouTube tips channels there are? And there can be more. Why? Because people can hit it from different ages, perspectives, and demographics. I think about the fact that I talked about this recently on a podcast. I went on Gray Matters. My friend Steve Dotto, his podcast and YouTube channel, Gray Matters, is giving like affiliate marketing tips and YouTube tips and online marketing growth tips to people in their legacy years that can't handle with how fast I talk and with my energy, right? So they hang out with Steve because he's meeting them right where they are, right where they're at. And your vibe attracts your tribe. So he's going same kind of content, different audience, different positioning, different niche and people that he's serving. And that is an underserved age demographic. On the flip side, I went on a podcast with Apple Kreider. It was called Young Money. Same thing. How do you like entrepreneurship, drop shipping, e-commerce, affiliate marketing, a lot of the themes that we talk about here at Think Media about making money online and like building a business, not on YouTube, but around your YouTube influence. And he's hitting that Gen Z Zoomer crowd. And this guy is in the middle. You know, I just turned 36. And so all three of us are winning. But the world has so many people, friends. You got to get clear. Who are you trying to reach? How can you be different? How can you maybe do the same thing in a different niche? How can you maybe do a similar thing with a different spin? How can you maybe do a similar thing? Because you don't want to be that different. Like the niches that work are actually pretty proven, but you want to find a unique spin on how to do that. And there's so many underserved niches or niches that are underserved by missing, like they need you, they need your voice. They don't need another, like in the YouTube space, another Roberto Blake or Sonny Leonarduzzi or Content Bug or Vanessa Lau or Tim Schmoyer or Nick Nimmin. They don't need another one. They need you. They need you to be you times two. You to bring your unique flavor, your unique voice, your unique vibe to your niche, your style, your content. Share your perspective in your way with your uniqueness. That's what stands out online. And here's the deal. Sun Tzu, famous military general, said this, and in the book, The Art of War, every battle is won before it is fought. I want you to think about that. Every battle is won before it is fought. Could it be that in 2020, for you to break out and win and make the impact that you're going to make here on YouTube, because by the way, we proved it with the channel examples. Is it still possible to make it and start a channel in 2020? Yeah, it is. People started one 5 months ago and blown up. Is it easier now than it was then? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But we could sit around all day circling the wagons, debating and complaining about it, or we could roll up our frickin' sleeves and get to work. And guess what? Before you get to work, though, you want to have a plan. Why? Because if every battle is won before it's fought, then that means that in 2020, you're going to win because you actually sit down and think things through, then follow through on your YouTube growth game plan. You don't want to just run out there and just be like, hey, just like you don't run into the battle. Sun Tzu's saying, look, we sat back, we calculated some things. We got that 30,000 foot perspective. We thought we're going to flank here. I'm going to deploy these resources here. I'm going to organize my calendar in this way. I'm going to figure out my strategy in this way. I'm going to do my upload date. Like you actually make a plan. Because if you want to win the battle, you don't just run in guns blazing. No, every battle is won before it's even fought. So saying that, I definitely want to recommend, if you haven't seen my key video on how to get more views on YouTube, it's all about the 3 core strategies that, guess what? They're still working like crazy right now. These channels, one of the common themes that they have of a lot of the channels that are growing is they're following these 3 principles. So I've linked this up in the description, as well as I'll put it on the YouTube card, but definitely don't miss this video here on YouTube. And this is what you want to see. You want to see videos that are breaking out. This is, the YouTube Studio backend. And so you can check out that video, but I want to give you 3 tips for starting on YouTube in 2020. And so the first tip is just this, or truths really, is that it's going to take work. Like, what's the difference between, and it's always been true on YouTube, but like going into 2020, you got to really prepare your mind, your mentality for the fact that it's going to take work. There's actually like an ancient Bible verse where Jesus was like, before going out there, count the cost of building the tower. Like he said that no one that was ever going to build a tower doesn't sit down first to say, do I got the time? Do I got the energy? Do I got the money to do it? Do I have the resource? Because why? Because you don't want to start building and get halfway through and be like, oh yeah, I never could have made it to the finish line. It's like, I live in California. I live in Vegas. I go to California a lot. I either fly or I drive. If I drive, I have to determine, do I have enough gas to get there? I got to prepare my mind, prepare my vehicle. If you got a Tesla, where are the charging stations? Do I have enough battery power to get to the next charging station? As you prepare your mind and your mentality, mindset is going to be huge for you winning on YouTube in 2020. It's going to take work. And so it doesn't mean that you are not prepared for the task. I think that some people approach YouTube hoping that it's going to be a magic pill, hoping that it's just going to be like Jack and the Beanstalk. You just throw a freaking bean in the ground and it just blooms up overnight, and now you can climb to the clouds. It's going to take real work. And I know you know that, but I just want to encourage you to prepare your mind to have the grit necessary to say, I'm not going to expect results in 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I'm really just going to put my hand to the frickin' plow and put in the work. And remember this, everybody starts at zero. Janelle Elena, you could hate on her as much as you want. She started at 0 subscribers and now she's got whatever millions. The Donia Angelo with the amazing Mexican cooking grandma show started at 0 subscribers. So we all start at 0. So it can be really easy to compare ourselves to the person on the left and the right and wish we had this circumstance or we lived in that situation. None of that thinking or energy is going to get you where you need to go. You know what it is? The work. Rolling up your sleeves, getting focused, head down, blinders on, do the work if you want to grow on YouTube in 2020. Number 2, it's going to take time. It's going to take time because YouTube is a marathon and not a sprint. Now look at this. This is a truth about business in general. It says, how long does it take for a business to be profitable is the question. And people say, Sean, I want to make money on YouTube. And that's what we're here for. Make sure you're subscribed on Think Media because we got tips on affiliate marketing and tips on how to position and brand yourself. By the way, we're launching a new channel called Think Marketing this week. And it's going to go deeper in a lot of strategies around email marketing and building out online courses and different things like that. And so we're here to help you be profitable, monetize your passion, build a proven business model around your YouTube influence. But sometimes I think people are trying to cash in too soon. They're like, I want to get started with affiliate marketing. I've been doing this for 3 months and I've got 10 videos out and I've got 300 subscribers. And they're expecting to cash in right up front. But YouTube is just like business and small businesses. So you look at this article on Google, how long does it take for a small business to be profitable? Well, with the possible exception of some profitable franchises, which means you just buy a Subway franchise, you already have a proven business model. There's already the branding work that's been done there. There's already the brand recognition. People already know what they're going to get. With the exception of a Subway, it normally takes anywhere from 6 months, to several years for new businesses to become profitable. So one of the main problems for people starting small businesses is paying their bills until their new business starts to make money. That's why I said in number 1, count the cost of building the tower. Pace yourself to say, okay, my game plan, I'm going to keep working my day job while I'm working on my dream job. I worked at Red Robin for 10 years. It's a burger restaurant here in America, bottomless fries. Come on, Royale with cheese, the egg on there. You've got some pink, please, with some pepper jack cheese. And I worked there for 10 years while I was building my business, Clear Vision Media, freelance video production on the side while I was building my YouTube channel. Then I had a full-time job at a church while I was building my YouTube channel. So you need to find a way, I think, to fuel your business with some different income streams while you're building your dream. Because one of the main problems for starting small businesses are people like, you know what, I'm going all in. If this doesn't work in 2 months, then I don't know. I'm going to run out of money. No, you got to have a different plan than that, friend. Right? And look, some people break out in 6 months. It might take 6 months, especially if you get the right community around you, the right strategies around you, you get a map. When I think about a profitable franchise too, I think that's the wisdom of people that go, I'm going to go learn from someone who's already done this to shorten my learning curve. One of the fastest ways you could succeed on YouTube in 2020 is to shorten your learning curve by not trying to figure this out on your own, but by connecting with people who've already made the mistakes, wandered in the desert for 10 years, and can help get you there faster, right? And so, but this is just the reality. It's gonna take time. So invest the time, the patience, right? The strategy. Learn from other successful businesses. Learn from other successful YouTubers and creators. All right, number 3, and I actually have a bonus tip, number 4, in just a second, but it's gonna take strategy, right? And we talked about that. It's actually going to take a real plan. And when you study out Janelle Elena and you're like, all right, she went viral, and you're like, was it just luck? Was she a plant from YouTube? What was the thing? When you actually look at her first video, and one of the biggest things I'd recommend is listening to her interview with Phil DeFranco on A Conversation With. And she breaks down like the fact that she'd really been studying kind of her niche, van life, and she'd already been living in her van a couple years. She'd been studying her niche and watching other people creating content in it for months, making a game plan. She then shot her video on her phone. It took her like a week to shoot, or 3 shoot days, and it took her 2 weeks to edit. Lots of polishing, lots of thought going into it, lots of different things. Then you look at the keyword strategy, and she actually went into proven profitable niches. Van life is a big thing. Like another resource, check out the book Seth Godin Tribes. You actually don't create a tribe, you create content for a tribe that already exists. And solo travelers, van life travelers, this was a niche that already was very popular. So boom, she shows up, by the way, with disproportionate charisma and, unique story, and the fact that solo female traveler, like, dude, what are you doing? Like, there's a lot of things to it. Thus the proportion and scale of her success. My point though, is people think that people just stumble their way to the top. Nah, man, there's a strategy. And for those that do get lucky and break out, typically their 15 minutes of fame is going to be just that long. Anyone who stays at the top does it because they definitely are thinking on a deeper level with a deeper level of strategy. And here's one of the biggest things that I want you to think about. I actually want you, as we talk about succeeding on YouTube, which could mean making a living on YouTube, that your goal should never be to make a living on YouTube. Like, don't make a living on YouTube. What do I mean? Okay, I want to get the views. I want to get the AdSense. Like, YouTube is going to be my job. You ever say, like, how do I make YouTube my job? I think that's a bad idea. Even for the people, you could argue and say that YouTube is my job, but that's not true at all. And I'll just here's what I mean. Don't make a living on YouTube. Use YouTube to make your living. Like, you got to have a bigger brand, a bigger business. Don't brand yourself around YouTube. That is a huge vulnerability. You might say, Sean, well, I mean, dude, you're the author of YouTube Secrets. I mean, aren't you I'll say, yeah, maybe, but here's the thing. My promise is I help you build, I help purpose-driven entrepreneurs build their influence with online video. And online video is a lot bigger than YouTube. That's why we have LinkedIn tips. That's why I'm super active on LinkedIn right now, super active on Instagram. That's why we're building our email list. That's why we have a conference called Grow with Video. If YouTube goes away tomorrow, we're going to keep teaching video. Video is not going away. Like, video and communication is here to stay. Marketing is here to stay. The channels might be new. The platforms might be new and different. And so don't make a living on YouTube. Use YouTube to make your living. This is why, when you want to talk about success, I was able to go full time on Think Media with 20,000 subscribers. Now we're on our way to 1 million. By the way, thank you. Appreciate you. Much love to the Think Media community. Now we're on our way to 1 million, but I was able to go full time because of affiliate marketing, not AdSense, and talking about tech way back at 20,000 subscribers. Why? Because I was thinking bigger than just, I need to get a lot of views, I need to use AdSense, and I need to hope that I become a famous vlogger, and that's the path to success on YouTube. I don't believe that's true. You're in the right niche with the right strategy, with the right target audience, with 1,000 true fans, and you build smart, then what you're doing is you're not making a living on YouTube or off of YouTube, but you're using YouTube to make your living. I think that's a key strategy. So here's the thing. I got another tip for you, but a couple resources all year long. I'm going to be here on Think Media, myself, the team, Tony, Nolan, Omar, Heather. We're going to be creating content. I also, if you got a question about YouTube, I'm doing the best as I can on Instagram to answer my DMs. And so hit me up over there. I've got a daily show called the Rise and Grind Show on my Instagram stories. And so I just want you to know, I hope these tips serve you, but also that I'm committed in 2020 to helping you win. I'm committed in 2020, Think Media, our team, to helping you succeed on YouTube. And just a couple resources would be definitely Instagram, because we put out daily tips there, as well as I'll try to answer your questions in the DMs, as well as stories for behind the scenes. So every day I kind of give you behind the scenes, and that'll help you stay in the know for the kind of stuff that's happening, because besides new videos and new live streams, of course, also video influencers, the project I do with Benji, Travis, and we have weekly interview show coming out there, and just a lot of resources. I mean, here's the deal. My passion is helping you win, helping purpose-driven entrepreneurs and people build their influence with YouTube. Because saying don't build your income or don't make your living on YouTube, I'm still pumped about YouTube being alive and well. I get it. There's challenges, but it is the number one video platform on the internet by a long shot still. It's the second most visited website in the world, period. It's the second largest search engine in the world. So it's irresponsible, in my opinion, for anybody that's serious about building their brand, business, or future with social media to not have a presence on YouTube. It may not even be your main thing. I think it needs to be at least a thing because it's way too dominant, and you could sit here waiting for something to change. But guess what? When I do a video called, Is It Too Late to Start YouTube in 2025? Maybe I'm going to be like, yeah, it's too late now. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, now it's been 20 years. Things are getting tough, like COPPA version 48, the Adpocalypse 99. But it's not too late now. We've seen it from the examples. And so connect with our community because we're definitely here to help you on your journey. And that's the bonus tip number 4 is I really actually believe it'll take community. It'll take community. And so when I say that, here's what I mean. I mean, of course, subscribe here, but I mean like get in some Facebook groups. Like I forget what it's called, but my friend Jeremy's got a thumbnail Facebook group. And so we always upload our thumbnails so people can give us feedback that we're doing every week. Try to get to some events this year. Like every year am now going, I don't know about every year, but this is just the lanyards from this year of the things that I went. This is my marathon winning half, flexing. He like, oh, this one slipped. I'm just kidding. So ran a half marathon. So, I mean, I went to Vid Summit, Legacy Builders, our conference, Grow with Video, Broadcast Your Authority, Video Marketing World, Social Media Day in San Diego, Reach Live, NAB, Kajabi Impact Summit, Social Media Marketing World, Traffic and Conversion Summit, Influencer with Brendan Burchard, the NAM Show, all these conferences. The reason I show this is, number one, if you can't make it to conferences, that's why we're here to help you with the information, because I just want to distill that and just help you with learning the best practices. 2, challenge yourself in 2020 to get a plane ticket or do a road trip and go somewhere, because I really believe we go further, faster together. And when we get in the right environment, like show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And those friends might just be online. They might just be at an event. They might be in a Facebook group. They might be in a WhatsApp chat. But like you need a community, I believe, to have the right mindset, the right strategy. Because I got people I'm talking to, like, I'm getting feedback on thumbnails. I'm getting them to break down videos. We're talking in the back rooms and in lobbies and stuff about content and about strategy. The people that I see winning and that have the edge are people that are just connected to a group of people that can keep them encouraged, like sharpen the saw, keep them sharp, help refine their content, give them some feedback. And I get it. Resources might be limited now. That might seem like a challenge now. Set your mind on it. Where there's a will, there's a way. You can figure out how to get to at least one event in 2020. And 2, if you can't even travel, try a live stream pass. A lot of conferences have a live stream pass. Watch the content. Fill the notebook. Do the work, study, get the best practices, because you'll go further faster when you're connected to a community of like-minded, ambitious, innovative, creative people that have their finger on the pulse of what's happening, so you can get the best strategies, you could get the best things that are actually working now and not just things that worked a few years ago. It's going to take a community. And so I encourage you with that. And then that's what we're all about in 2020. I just want to thank you for being a part of this community. Think Media is committed to bringing you new videos, new content. Heather's got new content coming. We're launching our Think Marketing channel. And so that launches like this week. By the time you're seeing this, there should be a link in the description if you're watching the replay. And so make sure you're subscribed here. Turn on notifications so you don't miss live streams and things like that. And then definitely check out this video as well, because if you want some actionable strategies you can apply right now, there's a reason this video is actually doing so well. It's because it's got 3 of my best strategies that really work in 2020 to stand out and grow on YouTube. But I want to pass the question off to you. How long have you been on YouTube, and how many videos have you uploaded total so far? And maybe you haven't started yet. Are you thinking about starting a channel? Let me know, and tell me in the comment section below. Smash like if you got value out of this video, and click or tap the screen to watch that video on my 3 best tips for getting more views on YouTube, and I will see you in the next video. You know, it could be frustrating putting energy into a YouTube video, uploading it online, and then it just doesn't get very many views. It feels like you're wasting your time, and I can honestly relate at a major level because I've been on YouTube for over 10 years now, and I remember hustling on videos